Good afternoon, everyone. This weekend, we continue to see progress in the struggle with COVID. Both Ontario and Grey Bruce saw a decrease in new cases. Ontario also continued to see a decrease in hospitalizations, patients in ICU and on ventilators, as well as deaths. As of yesterday, 883 Ontarians remain hospitalized, about half of the 1,701 we saw at the peak exactly 1 month ago. It appears that the peak caused by the holiday gatherings is behind us. While there is good progress, COVID is still here, and there are still 18 cases within the Grey Bruce Health Unit. At this time, there are no active cases in the town of the Blue Mountains. New cases, however, continue to crop up in our neighboring municipalities of Collingwood, Clearview, and Wasaga Beach in Simcoe County, with 12 cases being reported in those communities so far this month. Also of concern are the cases of the new variant strains of the virus in Simcoe County. The Grey Bruce Health Unit reports that to date, none of the new variants have been identified in Grey Bruce. The health unit advises, however, that the highest transmission rate seen in the new strains of COVID has prompted province-wide changes to case and contact management. These changes include a revised definition of high-risk contacts to reflect the increased risk of transmission. Additionally, high-risk contacts and their household will be asked to follow more rigorous self-isolation and testing protocols. These changes will affect case and contact management in many different settings, such as workplaces and schools, and will further support limiting transmission in these environments. The Grey Bruce Health Unit's case and contact management team will provide all required information to all contacts and cases. The key message from this is that now is not the time to let down our guard. Vaccines are on the way, and this week I sat in on a conference call the province had to update all mayors on the progress of the province's vaccine distribution plan. Plans are in place, and currently there is more capacity to deliver vaccine than there is vaccine. By mid-next week, the most vulnerable, including all residents of long-term care homes, will have been vaccinated. Vaccination will then focus on remaining healthcare workers, retirement homes, and a catch-up on second doses and on remote communities. Will start on the general population, starting with the oldest and most vulnerable, all depending on vaccine availability. Phase 2 will begin in April with the elderly and health compromised in the general population and essential workers. 7.6 million doses are expected to be received in the months of April, May, and June. The province will be setting up a registration site when the program has transferred to the general population, so people can sign up for appointments. The public can stay informed as to the status of vaccination by reviewing the daily situation report on the Grey Bruce Health Unit's website. This week, the provincial government also announced its plans for a safe reopening of the economy. This includes our ski hills, which will reopen on February 16th with safety protocols and capacity limits in place. Our ski operators have worked very hard at putting in place protocols to protect the health and the well-being of their guests, employees, and the local community. These are in addition to the public health guidelines and are summarized in the Blue Mountain Resort's Personal Responsibility Code. Earlier today, the province announced that Grey Bruce would be reopening in the yellow category. This means organized public events and social gatherings are limited to 10 people indoors or 25 people outdoors. Limits for organized public events and gatherings in staff businesses and facilities where physical distancing can be maintained are 50 people indoors and 100 people outdoors. Restaurants, bars, and other food and drink establishments can reopen. However, they must require patrons to be seated a minimum of 2 meters apart or with an impermeable barrier between the tables. There is a limit of 6 people who may be seated together, and will also be passive customer screening and a requirement for contact information for all seated patrons. There is also a requirement for face coverings except when eating or drinking. There are rules for other businesses as well. Stores must have passive screening for patrons, for example, by posting signs outside the store front and about not entering if you have COVID-19 symptoms. All businesses must also have a safety plan prepared, which has to be made available upon request. In addition to the provincial rules, residents and visitors are reminded that the town's mandatory face covering bylaw continues to be in effect, meaning that a mask or face covering must be worn inside all public establishments and enclosed public spaces within the town. Also, businesses in the town have continued to work with the health unit and have implemented enhanced safety measures as part of their individual safety plans. The town asks residents and visitors to watch for storefront signage when entering businesses and to respect all business-specific public safety measures. Along with wearing a mask or face covering, members of the public are reminded to follow all other current public health guidelines, including avoiding unnecessary travel or traveling outside of your community, limiting close contact to only those in your household as much as possible, practicing physical distancing of at least 2 meters, and washing your hands regularly. This weekend is Family Day weekend, and whether you're spending the weekend apart from your loved ones or with those in your immediate household, there are plenty of safe activities to enjoy in the Blue Mountains. Enjoy the fresh air by visiting the town's local trails. This year, the town has expanded winter recreation opportunities to include groom tails for both the Georgian Trail and the Tomahawk Recreational Facility. These trails are great options for families looking to enjoy an excursion for walking, snowshoeing, or cross-country skiing. Motorized or gas-powered machines are not permitted on the Georgian Trail or at the Tomahawk Recreational Facility. And remember, when heading to these local trails, please be prepared. Include parking in your planning and practice 2-meter physical distancing. For more information, please check out the town's Tomahawk Trails map and the Grey County's winter activity map. Also, please make sure you have the essentials ready by checking out the following helpful guides from Ontario Parks: your winter preparedness guide, how to dress for your winter adventure, and 6 essential items to pack for your winter hike. There are also many online events. You could start your weekend with a movie night. On Saturday, February 13th at 7 p.m., enjoy the launch of 2 new real history films produced right here in the town of the Blue Mountains by the Blue Mountains Public Library and the Craigleith Heritage Depot. The films featured 2 amazing natural features of the Blue Mountains, fossils and the Niagara Escarpment. For more details, please visit the Blue Mountains Public Library online events calendar. For details and inspiration about other Family Day activities, please visit the Blue Mountains Public Library Things to Do at homepage or the Blue Mountain Village online events page. Please also support our local businesses that are struggling to survive by ordering takeout from one of our local restaurants or businesses. The Explore Blue website business directory provides a listing of what's available for takeout throughout the town. You can make this Family Day weekend a memorable one by celebrating safely. If you are unable to spend time with your loved ones, try connecting with them virtually, online, or by phone. Have a great weekend and stay safe.